I'm very honored to be sitting here tonight with Professor David Kaye, the Executive Director of the International Human Rights Program at UCLA Law School. And something I think a lot about is the theological model of Tselem Elohim, that all humans are created in the image of God and are viewed with infinite dignity. And that as Jews, our responsibility is to stand up and to defend the rights of all humans. I wonder, as really the foremost scholar in this field, how you think about human rights from a Jewish perspective, or if there's any message you have for the Jewish community.
Right. So thank you for having me. I would say a couple of things. The first thing I would say has to do with the kind of lessons that I learned as a kid growing up from my Jewish education. And one, I think, that plays out in the way I think about human rights today is the notion of tzedek, and the idea that justice, you shall pursue. And I think that's been kind of a theme in my own professional life, which is that not only are there certain rules that all individuals are bound to uphold, but particularly governments are bound to uphold, but when they violate them, they should be held accountable. And to me, that's the pursuit of justice. That's holding people accountable. And I think that there's a lot of space for students, in addition to governments and professionals out there, there's a lot of space for students to be a part of making justice real. And I think that it's important for students in particular to see themselves not narrowly as students who have things just to learn, but also to see themselves as basically recipients of this charge to pursue justice. And for them to do that, I think that means taking initiative, going out there, finding an issue that they care deeply about, not only trying to find ways to force governments or non-state actors to adhere to the basic rules of human rights, but also when they do violate them, to work to hold them accountable, whether that means interning for an organization that does this kind of work in New York, Israel, or overseas, or it means writing an op-ed for the Daily Bruin, or whatever it might be. There's so much space, so much scope for students to make a difference here, and I think students often don't think that they have that capacity, and I think they should see that they do have that role.
Terrific. Well, Professor Kaye, it's such an honor to learn from you. There's not a day that goes by that there's not some scandal where a Jew is involved, and I can say that you're really a hero in our community and a role model, and it's a source of pride that the type of Kiddush Hashem, sanctification of God's name, you put forth as a leader of the human rights movement on a global level is really just is so inspiring.
You're too generous.
Thank you so much.
Sure.